Hello, welcome to today's channel update. I thought I'd take this particular update video and have it look back on 2016 and then look ahead to 2017. One of the first things that I realized is, February 26th I put up my first video. And now, as of recording this, there's 170 that I've published and still more ready to be uploaded. And I'm already at 87 subscribers as of today. It's kind of neat. I'm very, very pleased that the feedback I've been getting from various viewers, both local here in Peoria as well as on the internet, they're finding value in some of the things I'm putting out. So that's really what this is all about. I'm enjoying putting out the videos I put out. I'm trying to document the models I've got, the creative processes I've got, all the things I've come up with, and I really want to try to educate others on different ways of looking at things, especially in the area of tactics and strategy. And I guess it's working, so I'm really, really pleased about that. So one thing I did realize is over the course of the year, my eyes have been kind of progressively getting a little worse. I started needing readers a few years back, and now it seems that more and more I need them to do any type of reading. You'll notice, so I did the story times portions for the prologues and epilogues for the narrative campaign, that I was wearing glasses at the time. I don't like the thought of contact, so I don't really like using glasses at all. But I've noticed when I was doing the last couple Art of War Academy episodes, I have my laptop in front of me with the text blown up large so that I can very easily see it. That even then it's kind of hard to see, and I can still make it out, but not what it used to be. So in order to make things better, again, keep the quality of the videos up and do you guys a favor, not stumbling over, misreading or whatever, or forgetting stuff in my notes. I'm gonna go ahead and bite the bullet, and I'll actually wear glasses on camera more often, at least when there's reading to do. Okay, so here they are. I kind of feel like Kirk in that Wrath of Khan video or movie when he actually had to get out the readers in order to punch in the security code. So I do want a pair of those glasses. That's one day I think I will get one of those. So let's talk about 2016. I've been at this Warhammer stuff for, bought the Son of Black Reach in December 28th of 2011, and now here it is, 2016. I'm starting to do videos, and that's never imagined that. Never. But each year, what I've decided, my first year, 2012, was all about getting my armies set up. And each year I had some sort of goal for that year. Well, 2016, my biggest goal was basically the year of my independent clans, the Dark Eldar Codex portion of my Exedit army. So there were a lot of units I wanted to bring into the mix. I bought a collection of Dark Eldar, mostly to get the vehicles, and I bought a collection of Dark Elves. Sorry, not Dark Elves, Wood Elves, because the Glade Guard work out very well. That's to me is what would pass as the Dark Eldar Cabalite warriors, and turned out that I was able to use the Wild Stag Riders as Hellions. So there's a lot of cool synergies there. I really liked it. So that was the bulk of this year's work, the focus as far as models and purchases. I did get the Malcador, so I did add to my Imperial Guard, but it's just one of the things I've been waiting long enough to do. I want to dive in. Now, this is also the year I wanted to start get my narrative campaigns out there. Now, I've written 3 now. The first one was all set to go. These weren't written for video. I mean, I wrote the first 2 before this whole YouTube thing came about for me. But the first one I wrote it's still ready to go. It's just the players who were involved, 2 of them sold off their armies, so I don't have the players for those anymore. So I went ahead and drafted a second one to cover the first, but we haven't been able to play that one. The third one, the one you're actually seeing now, Kegarak's Last Laugh, that is written specifically for a local gamer who's had what I think is a really cool narrative concept to his army, the way he's allied in some non-Harlequin units, non-Eldar units with his Harlequin army. So I built that, and that's what's actually this year was to actually start my first narrative campaign, and it ended up being the third one I wrote. So we just launched that. Matter of fact, last weekend, on the 17th of December, we were supposed to have filmed the second episode, and in fact I published the prologue to that day. I was able to make it into town, but the weather prevented another gamer from getting the Harlequin player from getting in, so Dave wasn't able to. And to be honest, the roads were actually pretty bad. I guess I'm just enough of a crazy geek that I braved the weather to get there anyway. Retrospectively, we didn't need to. But we had to reschedule, so it'll either be on the 29th of December or the 7th of January, somewhere in that time frame. And the third episode will be filmed on the 30th of December. So they're coming. There's just a longer delay than I expected, or gap between the first and second videos. So, but those are going great. Now, looking forward to 2017, my intention, back when I said to myself that I was going to focus on the independent clans in 2016, was that it'll be okay, I can put off my guard stuff until 2017. So that's when I'll start building up my guard stuff. And this year I was able to add, because of the Tank Shock event that Games Workshop kind of started, I added a little bit to my guard, but it wasn't a full-off offensive on the guard, so to speak. My intention was, for 2017, to build up my guard so that it's actually several units are complete now. Right now I only have 30 squads. Sorry, 30 infantrymen. 3 squads. They could be veterans, they could be platoon squads, but just 3 squads. I think I've got 3 heavy weapon teams. See, I got 3 mortars, 3 heavies. Yeah, I got 3 heavy weapon teams. Got a couple command squads. So I've got a lot of units, but when I build my Imperial Guard lists, I try to form it around a table of organization and equipment that I developed. Each of my divisions in my Guard army are patterned after a particular real-world unit. So I'm missing models to do complete units. So I don't have a full rifle platoon right now. I don't have a full tank platoon. So 2017 may not actually end up being Imperial Guard, because over the course of 2016 I ran across a few things that caught my interest, and other things developed. One thing is the orcs I've got. I've been putting off expanding for a while. I've got a whole bunch of arms, heads, different things I want to just buy, especially from Cromlech, even some Spellcrow ones, torsos, legs, what have you, and I can assemble, another 30-boy squad, or a couple of them actually. There's a couple other ideas I've got, conversion ideas in the orc space that would be kind of fun. So there's this drive to do orcs. Now, I'm just finishing up with the end of 2016's Get It Painted challenge from IDIC. It turns out that now that I've got my Exocrine Megadon, now I've got this new unit of Tyranid Warriors, which is my Dragon Knights, and I have 1 Balvor or Exilite Mind Layer. I need 2 more, so what I want to do is buy 2 Volsrath support weapons, the large ones, and that would give me a formation that I could use for my Dragon Masters. kind of cool. I've also wanted to do a couple formations of the Genestealer formations they've got in that Leviathan Codex or supplement as well. So I want to get more Black Ark Corsairs. 2 boxes should cover me. Oh boy, that's just the possibilities. And then of course I always want more Dragon Knights. Another box of those or 2 would be nice. But so that's the Dragon Master side. On the on the Independent Clan side, well, I still have to do the Kronos stand-in or Talos Pain Engine, the heavier monstrous creature with the guns and all. I want to do that, but I need to take a Warwalker and a Wraith Lord to merge those together. Looking forward to doing that, but it's kind of pricey, but it's a model I really want to do. And then there's some other things I want to do in that space. Then there's I want to do the second Wraith Knight. Now, for the House clans, I set up basically the Exodite Knight, and the Knight in the old Epic rules. There were 3 different versions. One was the I forgot, it's a stallion of some sort. I forgot the name of it, but it was 4-legged, looked like a horse. But there were 2 others, and one's the Fire Gale, which I kind of patterned my existing Wraith Knight off of. And the next one is the Towering Destroyer. A little bit shorter, a little squatter, bigger guns. That's the next one I want to do. So I really would love to dive into that. So House Clan side for that. There's also some flyer things I want to do. But I just read, finally, after having the Doom on my Mira Imperial Armor book for, well, since March or April, whenever, I've finally, I loved reading it. It's a great story, and I focused on the Craft World side of things. But I finally read the Corsair entry near the end, and it just dawned on me this is a perfect addition to my army, because Corsairs often ally heavily with Exodites. Perfect. Now I have a way to bring vehicles in there instead of trying to force them into the House Clan Eldar Codex. I can keep the regular Exodites more tied to the dragons and the walker or like indigenous creatures like the dryads, and with the occasional jet bike or something like that, and then use the Corsairs to bring in all the vehicles and even more jet bikes and other stuff like that. And even the Nightwings. I love the Nightwing fighter. That's a beautiful ship, aircraft. So now the Corsairs, I even have a color scheme. It's actually, I want to use the color scheme I just applied to those 3 Dragon Knights. I want to use that color scheme across the entire Corsair fleet. Oh man, I would love to do that. But I don't have any models for that yet. So I'll be getting on the ground level, ground floor. I don't know if I've got enough money to actually build a good force that I could have fun with early on. I don't want to have to ally in all the time like I did with my Dark Eldar. I want to just be able to get a good, even if it's a small point game, get a good core force to have fun with and experience the Corsair feel. So that's the next thing I want to do. It's like, what are the other... There's just so many possibilities. And then the Tau. Oh man, the Tau. I've been putting this off for a while. It's the... I want to build some Kroot Vulture Kindreds. So instead of having the Vespids, I actually want to buy some... I already have Kroot bodies. I need Kroot heads. I need some wings to make Kroot Vultures. And I have to craft some guns to make them a little different profile from what you see normally on Kroot. And now I'll have Vespids. And that'll be great because then I can run the formation, allied contingent. No, sorry, it's not allied. It's an allied race contingent of some sort. They've got in the new Tau Codex 2 Carnivore squads and 2 Vespid squads as a unit, or formation, sorry. And you get special benefits. Well, if it's all Kroot related, it would look cool. So I really want to do that. I have to settle on one of them. I don't know what I'm going to do. So 2017 intention was Imperial Guard. I don't know if it's going to stay there. We'll have to see. Now, kind of one of the things that happened during 2016 obviously is learning, a huge learning curve. I really have enjoyed everything I've learned. Now, as I came to bring in a narrative campaign to the channel, and battle reps especially, I want to be sure I had the rules right, and so I paid a lot of attention trying to make sure I understand the rules and I'm not making mistakes there. And you guys can be a judge of how well or successful I am. And please do put comments in when you do, in these bat reps, you do find errors. Hopefully I'll catch them before they make it on to actually affect the game. Sometimes I'll actually mention them. I'll find them later and put them into, I'll edit in captions. But one big error I made, I didn't even realize I was making it. Might have been a carryover from a previous edition. But out in even in some bat reps I've seen in forums, I've seen the same rule interpretation, and it turns out I was completely wrong. And I was just, thankfully there was a individual who commented on one of my posts, someone else's video, and basically explained that I was incorrect. Didn't do it harshly at all. It was about the charging first turn for infiltrators. Now, when I read the rule, the way it's supposed to be, is that if you have infiltrated or used a scout move during deployment, you can't charge during your first turn. Now, the way scout is written, the rule, it actually states the first game turn. In the infiltrate, the rule is actually written, units that infiltrate cannot charge during their first turn. Now, I must have misread it. I read it to say during the first turn. And one of the rule book assumptions is whenever turn is used, it means player turn, unless it actually says game turn. So when I misread the rule saying they can't charge in the first turn, I thought it was the first player turn, meaning the second player can charge. I was wrong. So I want to set that straight here. I think actually one of my videos does have an error. I don't know if it actually mattered. I don't think they actually did it. I just mentioned the possibility. I don't think they actually did charge first turn, but that is incorrect. So whether you scout or infiltrate, no charges first game turn period, unless there is a special rule in a formation you have or a unit you've got. I personally don't know of any yet, but you never know, except for Gene Stealer cults. They do have that, but it's because their rule doesn't actually use infiltrate. They use a special deployment that allows them to actually go ahead and charge the first turn, because even though they're 3 inches away from the opponent when you place them on the board. So being honest, error I made, I want to make sure everyone understands that this is really how it's supposed to be. If I'm responsible for anyone misunderstanding or making a mistake, I'm trying to clear that up right here. All right, kind of updates as far as the channel as a whole. I think I mentioned already the campaign 2, game 2 was postponed, but that will be coming up shortly in Civil 3. Now, I am not going to release the two scenarios back to back. I will put at least a week between them so that you've got some time to watch the first one before the second one comes out. I don't want to risk any spoilers or anything like that. This week, these 2 weeks, as I mentioned when I put that Christmas playlist out, I'm really trying to spend some time getting to appreciate Christmas this year. The last few years, like I said, it's been just whizzed by. I completely missed it, it feels like. This year I decided I'm going to make it a concerted effort to enjoy it and really understand the meaning, just kind of follow it and kind of recapture Christmas as I remember it as a kid. Now, what that allowed me to do is, basically said, I banked some vacation days. So I took the entire first week or week before Christmas off, and I already have the week after Christmas off. So these 2 weeks have a lot of potential. Okay. Now this first week, not so much, because again, I'm trying to focus on what this week is really about. My son came back from college for the week, and he goes back the day after Christmas. I want to spend time with the family and all, but I am squeezing some of these videos in. But the following week I'm going to have a lot of opportunity to do a lot of videos. I've actually laid it out. There's 24 or more videos that I'm trying to film during these 2 weeks. and I just can't wait to do them. So some of these are not going to, again, come all out at once. I'm going to try to space them out so you've got some time to. Okay, you don't want to get inundated with videos. You start getting behind. Put out a couple, every couple days, put one or two out. It'll last me through January. I'll be all caught up again. But aside from that, I want to talk a little bit about 2017's painting challenge that Edic Beers is putting on. He has his epic Eldar fleet that he's going to finish. I really like epic. Battlefleet Gothic. I'm sorry, Battlefleet Gothic. I would love to get into that. I hope they re-release it, and I'm gonna play Tau. There's just no two ways about it. That's the way I'm. I love the Eldar stuff, yes, but no, I'm definitely doing Tau. But I don't have any of that. I have plenty of other models to do though. I went through my list and I've got stuff for my Dark Eldar equivalents, that I've started painting but I haven't quite finished. There's some Eldar models that, just a couple Farseer kind of stand-ins. Not a whole lot there, but a couple things. Tau, I'm almost done painting everything. I just have a couple, like one turret to do and a detail part that kind of can fit on as a command to identify a command vehicle. My Imperial Guard, though, I've got quite a bit still. I've got a las cannon team. I've got a heavy bolter team that I can put together, stuff like that. Again, if I don't get those wings and crude heads, I can't do the vultures, which would be kind of a nice thing to do. Other painting things that I could do, though, there's not a whole lot. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. So I'm hoping to figure it out. We'll see what Christmas does, because if I get some models for Christmas, or I do decide how to kind of kick off 2017 as far as which army to focus on, I'll probably come up with a kit or two that I'll want to put in that painting challenge. But right now, it's right up in the air. I don't have a clue what I'm going to do. I really have enjoyed that, though. That's why I'm having a tough time figuring it out, because the painting challenge Edic Beer did at the end of this year really helped me get those Dragon Knights done, and I'm really thankful for that. They look great. Feel very good having them on the table. Well, they're not on the table yet, but well, I'm looking forward to it. So it's like I want to take advantage of this 2017 version, but I don't know what to do. I want to make it count, because it seems like I do better with this kind of motivation than just my own thing. So anyway, that's what's going on with the channel. Kind of a long-winded one, I know, but there's a lot going on. Like I said, I want to talk about where have I been, where am I going, and I hope you've kind of enjoying the ride along. Please do me a favor, do not forget to share and like the videos that I put out, and if you get your buddies to subscribe, that'd be fantastic. Thank you very much. Have a Merry Christmas and enjoy this time with your families. Enjoy this holiday season, and I'll see you in the next video. Alright, bye-bye.